Bursledon Brickworks and beyond. In 1974, the Health and Safety Act was passed in Parliament. It changed British manufacturing for good. For some businesses, however, it meant the end. The costs were simply too high, and at the Bursledon Brickworks, this was the end result. The building started life in 1897. A local Quaker family named the Ashbys teamed up with another Quaker family named the Hoopers to purchase land in the area to build not one but two operating stations. The south opened in 1897, the north a little later in 1903. The actual clay that made the bricks was obtained from a site just a little further away. The labourers would have to dig down to a depth of around 40 feet, and it wasn't until 1935 that mechanised digging machinery was brought in. The clay was transported by a myriad system of carts on cables. The clay that arrived via the system of carts and pulleys was by far from the finished product. It was dropped automatically into what was known as a pug mill. This was a large mangle kind of machine, which crushed smaller stones between large heavy rollers. Water was added to create a malleable clay, which was cut and shaped by men at the end of the production line. These men stacked the bricks to dry out before they were placed inside the kiln. At Bursledon, they had a traverse arch Hoffman continuous kiln, meaning it was in continuous use. It was a series of rooms all the same size where bricks were stacked from floor to roof. When it was filled, the kiln door was sealed up with bad bricks and spare clay. Death was a common occurrence at the brickworks. Although men and women were used in the operating side, it would have been the strongest, fittest, ablest men who would have been used to get the bricks out of the kilns. Despite cooling down for 3 whole days, the bricks would still be red scorching hot, and the men had to wear handkerchiefs on their head, or else their hair would set on fire. By World War II, the family-run business had amalgamated with the Sussex and Dorking Brick Company, and later in 1959, this changed to the Redland Holdings Limited. Redland trucks transporting the bricks were a common sight. As well as the aforementioned 1974 Health and Safety Act, there were 2 other main reasons for closing the site down. The M27 motorway, which had been built right through the site. The second was that the clay was harder to find and it had to come from further away, making it much less cost effective. But what of beyond? What was there before the brickworks? The entire area is renowned for boat building, especially during the 18th century, building ships mainly for the Royal Navy. One of these ships was HMS Elephant, which conveyed Horatio Nelson to the Battle of Copenhagen. With all these ships come sailors, and ships often carry soldiers too. And as Napoleon Bonaparte himself once said, an army only marches upon its stomach. To this end, British sailors and soldiers alike have relied on hardtack biscuits for food. From the 1500s to the Second World War, and even after, British servicemen have eaten these biscuits in times of need. Whole wheat flour, salt, which is an optional, and water. So how does this dry, tasteless food apply to Bursledon? Well, it's thought that on the site, or very near to the brickyard, was named the American Wharf, so called because this was where hardtack biscuits were made and sent out on ships which fought in the American War of Independence. If we go back further in time, we come to look at the name Bursledon, which is an English word meaning a man associated with the name Bright Victory and Hill. There could be an outside chance this has to do with a battle fought in the year 877 when King Alfred the Great tried to take Exeter from the pagan Danish invaders. Some of these Danes fled by sea. Alfred gave chase and blockaded the Danes, who it is said lost many ships in the Hamble. So could Bright Victory Hill be the location of engagement between desperate Danes and our very own Alfred the Great?